Okay. Anyways, if the music, I don't know how much, I don't even know if you can hear the music. If it is driving you nuts, for goodness sakes, let me know. I don't even know how long I'm going to have the music on. I'll probably not even hear it once I start blabbing. Yeah, actually, it's probably going to turn off now. Huh. I think it's more for, I think I prefer to hear it in my head than like out in the middle of the air here. Anyways, hope you're doing well. Anybody's there, or whoever does pop in. What am I saying here? Yeah, I'm going to tell you one thing, man. I haven't played this game in flip in ages. And to begin with, it's still a game in flux in the sense that I haven't even written down most of the rules. I tried to get the rules down to, like I said, it was eventually what I've been trying to do is get these rules down to just 2 pages so I can bring them to a convention and so on and so forth. And I was preparing, in a mad rush too, I was painting like a maniac to try to get enough troops done for some kind of historical balance of an army, both ways kind of thing. Well, actually then the pandemic hit, and that was that. And then during the pandemic afterwards, I started wondering, I guess, what do you call it? I get, what do you call it? Self-conscious, I guess, towards my painting or my terrain and so on and so forth, because it's so homemade and so on and so forth. And I was always like, you go to conventions and you see things that are just so amazing, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do that kind of thing. And no, I don't know. So I'm thinking maybe this live stream or whatever, even afterwards, if people want to comment and so on and so forth, or even me just going through it, play testing wise, I think it's going to be good for me to, well, okay, yeah, it's going to be good for me because I need to know if it's going to work. So if you see, okay, there's the other thing. This is not a simulation. This is for me and for other people that want to push a bunch of miniatures around that are, ancient looking, and we can talk about history and whatnot, but this is certainly not about, and oh my god, I've abstracted tons of things, and I've stolen from a bazillion things, as you're going to see, like DBA heavily, massively. I'm going to have to actually move the camera a bit later, I think, because I want to go over all the figures. I do want to show you a lot of my figures, and like I've said before, I'm not going to win any freaking painting competitions, I can tell you that bloody much, but I love the way I paint. It takes me forever, and it's actually one of the reasons why I ended up getting into DBA and painting ancients and whatnot, was because, excuse me, the way I paint is so slow, and I was doing 1:72 scale at the time. Hold on, I'm just going to just quickly check something here, and then I got to go actually pour my coffee. That'd be a good idea. Even though I shouldn't be having so much coffee, I don't think. Oh, Lord have mercy. Alright, and we are good, I hope. Yeah, alright, there we go, I think. Everything's looking good, I think so, good, alright. Or am I? I don't know. Am I being broadcast? I hope so. I'm just going to check. I want to make sure everything's going good. Hopefully I'm good, I hope. Let's see. Yep, I'm good. Alrighty. Or it was good. There was one person there. That's all I need to know. Just need to know if it's working. Yeah, let me pour my coffee and then I'll go from there. And then I'll try to explain how the heck I get to this point, this tabletop here. And like I said, there's probably a ton of things I'm doing wrong that, excuse me, you know, and like I said, if you see something, if you pop on here and you see me doing something, you're like, you know what, this would make a lot more sense this way, or you're contradicting yourself or whatever, let me know. Because in the end result here is, like I said, is for me to play. I can always just change the rules ad lib when I'm playing by myself, or you know, with someone who doesn't really care, you know, so much. Let's say Rob or whatever, you know, hanging out here with me. But you know, at a convention, I mean, obviously you want some consistency and something half decent, and that, you know, away we go kind of thing. Oh, anyways, hold on, let me get my coffee. Oh man, it is nasty out there today. Holy smokes! It's yeah, I'm glad I don't have to go outside. I think at one point it kind of was like, well, it's probably, well, I know it's not just probably, it is. It's a good idea that I don't have to go outside, because I think the only reason I really wanted to go outside was to grab some chocolate, and I don't really need chocolate, so. Anyways, lifestyle, oh my god, life is choices, isn't it? Hold on. Yeah, I don't even know if my video's working or audio, but anyway, someone will figure out if someone ever pops on. Oh, that's hot. Anyways, so I was into, I started getting into, like, the only time I ever played miniatures war-wise. Oh, good morning, Charles. Hey, man, super nice to see you. Yeah, just, Charles, man, I'm just starting to explain how I got into this, like how did I end up at this tabletop from whatever, and what's the rule systems and the whole 9 yards. And I'm obviously going to have to move the camera, the other camera in a bit, because I want to show you my minis, well, for the armies anyways. I hope you're doing good, man. I haven't looked at any of the comments yet, so I haven't checked any of that stuff out. Yeah, like I was saying, so originally what happened was I was playing, you know, mostly like at home, just fantasy skirmish, that type of stuff. But when I would go to conventions, I would play Napoleonic or 7 Years' War type of stuff, but obviously with other people's stuff. And I would, on Sunday afternoons or Sunday evenings, I would see people playing DBA 2.2 back then. And, you know, these tiny little, like really small mats, because you didn't need much space. And I think, what is it, 2x2, I think, is the minimum size you need, or something like that. I can't, it's been so long. Yeah, I think it's 24x24, I think. Anyways, and it, you know, small amount of troops, and they looked really interesting. They're all 15 millimeter. I had never seen that size, like that much, and, you know, like, anyways. It intrigued me, but I didn't know much. I managed to find, I think, a copy of DBA 2.2 somewhere, and it did not make any sense to me. I also found a copy of, Debellus. Oh, darn it, DBA, Debellus, well, what the hell, I got the books here. Antiquitatis. So, here. So these guys here. So what ended up happening was I ended up enjoying a rule system called La Salle by Sam Mustafa. And the problem was you need to paint a ton of miniatures to make an army. And I was using 1:72 scale at that time. It's not, you know, huge, but still bigger than 15 millimeter. And it was taking me forever, Charles, man. You ask Zoe every day after you know, she would come home from school and me from work. Every single night I was painting, and for like 2 years straight. And I was nowhere near the amount of troops I wanted to get. And I was like, God, I also want to paint. I also want to play some other, you know, periods and whatnot. So it's like, I've got to get to I got to find a rule system that does not require so many freaking figures to be painted. And DBA is one of them. You only need, for a standard game system, you only need 12 stands. And essentially, look, man, I'm no expert at this rule system, not by a long shot. But essentially what you need is, as long as your base widths are consistent with your opponents within reason, you're good to go. And the composition of the stands, which they call elements, determine the troop quality, how they move, how they interact in combat, how they interact with the terrain, that type of stuff. You also need a general, and you need a camp. I'll show you a bunch of other stuff, some stuff. Why did I pick DBA? Like I said, I wanted to find something small enough. I knew they were already playing it at Can Games. I went on YouTube and found a guy called Tony Aguilar, who you can find now. He's not doing, I think, as much DBA anymore. But he did some, and I was lucky. I think just at that time, one of his friends from, I can't remember the guy's name, but he spent a lot of time in Japan, interviewed Tony Aguilar about DBA and explained it. And he had some very basic tutorial videos where he played with his friend Mitch. And I was like, you know what, I'll give this a shot then. If Can Games is already playing that freaking game system there, and I don't have to paint a ton of guys, and maybe I can finally get in one of my first loves, which is Ancients, and do some Assyrian stuff and all that stuff. So that's what I did. I purchased not the big purple book that you see down there. It's now up to 3.0. I purchased this little book because the 3.0 book, the big purple book. And anyways, Charles, so what it is it's very tournament based, man. Very tournament based. Extremely so. It's wonderful. And there's a bazillion problems with it as well. I guess that's the thing about, beautiful things. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, there was also a huge schism, as far as I know, when it went to 2.2 to 3.0, and this was done by, yeah, man, Charles, man. It can be, you know what I mean? I think it's, I don't know about you, Charles, but it's only a pain for me when, it's not because it'll always sometimes feel like a chore, and that's when I'll stop. But it's I think it's only for me a pain when it's like the only end goal for me is to try to get enough miniatures done for, let's say, to do something for Can Games. That would be to me a bit of a pain. But otherwise, let's say if I go back to my original way I paint, and I'm going to show you how I paint later, you're going to go, people are going to be horrified. I'm the butcher of paintbrushes, man. Horrible. Because I don't dilute my paint. I use Art Deco, like I said, like your apple barrel type stuff, craft paint. I don't rarely dilute, so it's straight in, boink. So the paint is already drying on the brush. On and on. It's just disgusting. I have so many, but then I fall in love with the paintbrush. And I don't know about you, you start getting that freaking curl at the end. So I get so used to that flipping curl, though. I can, you do some amazing things. But I'm like, oh man, it's horrible. I can show you, I've got buckets worth of paintbrushes back there. It's just horrible. What the hell am I saying? So anyways, this rule system, very tournament based. The periods, it goes from like ancient Sumerian all the way up to gunpowder, basically. I think almost like to the Renaissance. But they do have other variations of this rule system. So this is, like I said, De Bellis Antiquitatis. They also have DBR for, I guess, Renaissance. They also have DBN for Napoleonics. They also have HOT, which is Hordes of the Things, which I think you would freaking... lots of times, Charles, I'm telling you, man, when you play your Fistful of Lead with your figures, I'm often thinking of Hordes of the Things, because it's basically anything goes. I've seen, you can look it up, there's, in England, man, DBA and Hordes of the Things, there's tournaments all the flipping time. All the time. It's crazy. So if you have an official army, like one of your official favorite armies or whatever, you know what, I'm just going to grab a chair for a second, because this is just us chatting, Charles. And we'll eventually get to the minis, man, and I'll show you all kinds of stuff. Yeah, it's very, like I said, there's tournaments all the time. If I was living in England and you're into DBA, you're in heaven. Absolute. I'm not kidding you, Charles. And also if you were in a sociophile, is that it? then I think you'd be losing your marbles. I'm not kidding you. Go to it's called Fanaticus DBA Forum. That's the big place to go as far as I'm concerned if you want to find out a lot of stuff about DBA and also hordes of the things and variations. I'm not going to get all in, well, maybe I will later. But yeah, you'd be in heaven if you were living there. Holy, there's so many messages about, oh, the upcoming tournament, this tournament, that tournament. But anyways, the hordes of the things. I've seen armies such as mid-70s British punk army going up against War of the Worlds army, or a samurai army, or a penguin army. It doesn't matter as long as you stay as long as the opponent and whatnot. You have the the elements. You've got 12 elements, a general, and you stick. Well, I think Hordes of the Things is maybe point based or something. I don't know because I don't play it. But for DBA, I'll just be able to talk about DBA, and then I'll tell you how I morphed into my own world because I started realizing I wasn't going to play tournament games, and that's the way it went. My very first painted DBA armies are upstairs, a 172. I did, I'll show them to you later. I did, oh shoots. I did Ancient Indians, Classical Indian, and some Greeks. I do believe, yeah. Get to go up against them. I may just maybe pretend they were Macedonian, you know what I mean? Like Alexander or something. Then, anyways, but I'll show you my very first army that I received as DBA, so I could finally go to CAN games and play. And that was a book. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you how they organized the thing, how they organized the armies. So they've broken up the periods into 4 books. So there's book 1, 2, 3, and 4. And book 1, general. Well, I can look it up in a minute, but hold on, I'm going to look it up now. But anyways, I'll tell you before I get there, this is the real book, the first book I got. Where are you? Is this guy here. When it's written or co-edited by John Curry, but it was written by Phil Barker's wife, Sue Laughlin Barker. And the reason why, I couldn't get the big purple book. It's super affordable. I love the size of this thing. It comes with absolute real play examples, like shows you how to even make your own terrain. And with the play example, it's like with 2 fictitious players, they make mistakes. You do not even come close to getting the sheer number of armies that you would like. Or available. There's over 500 armies or something ridiculous in here. But she gives you a smattering of, well, obviously you would assume the real popular ones, like you're going to get the Romans and the Celts. But for me, I was in heaven because I absolutely adore Assyria. I loved it ever since I was a little kid, man. Anyways, it's in here. So this all led into like a crazy little garden path, like everyone. So what did I show you here? Oh yeah, about the books here. So book 1 is, and then I'll show you my very first army. Then I'll show you my very first painted 15mm army. Then I'll show you my very first matched pair. So that's the thing. And then I started to deviate. I was like, okay, I just want to do my own thing now. And it just was like, enough's enough. Especially, I don't know about you, Charles, man. Oh, your miniature count is usually aimed at either 6, 9, or 12 figures in one combat unit. Okay, yes, and that's the other thing. Like I said, I have Lion Rampant, and I do have Chariot Rampant somewhere, which is, I guess, the ancient variation somewhere. I don't know where the heck it is. It's probably over here, but yeah, I like that's it. It's small. Let's just get to it. Well, you're going to see. I mean, over time, I've painted so many flippin' miniatures now. You know, the thing that sucks, well, you see the size of the table. I didn't realize that I had cut my mat, and I like this mat. I could have put on a different mat terrain backdrop or whatever the heck you want to call it, but I like this is from the Ready Mat set or the Woodland Scenics Deserts thing. And the thing why I said I love it, I hate miniatures that slide around. I know some people love it. I hate it. And I found the combination of felt and this, it's almost like Velcro, and I really like that. And the way I do my armies, you'll see, I've color-coded all the different felts, so I can look down and go, okay, that, you know, you belong to the Assyrians, you belong to the Kushite Egyptians. And one of the reasons, too, is with 15 millimeters, and there's not like a bazillion manufacturers out there, they tend to, I find, if you go onto their websites and so on and so forth, you'll see the same sculpt being used, excuse me, for multiple armies over multiple periods of time. You know, and I'm like, I mean, I understand, but it's, so it gets to the point, but also the quantity sometimes when I would purchase miniatures, you know, you go on to, let's say, Magister Militum or whatever, and they'd say, okay, you know, it comes in chunks of 4, 8, or whatever. Well, when I'm making maybe a stand or an element in DBA, you know, I've got extra figures. What the heck are you supposed to do with all these extra figures? So I got to the point where I was like, okay, look, I've got these extra figures. I might as well paint them up and make extra stands. I'm now deviating away from the official rule army list. What am I going to do? I was like, well, just make up your own stuff and just go with it. I'll tell you how the armies are kind of set up. So anyways, yeah, I'll go through the book 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'll give you the time periods, and then that'll be that. Yeah, it says here the minimum is a square, 24. Yeah, 24 by 24. Where are the books? Section 1 is called the Chariot period, from 3000 BC to 500 BC. Section 2 is called the Classical period, from 500 BC to 476 AD. And Charles, man, you wouldn't believe the amount of, like, it's everywhere. Like, for example, like, Meandering Mike there, Mike's doing, you know, when he did the unboxing there, the States of Siege game for the Mound Builders. The only reason why I know about the Mound Builders primarily, I mean, a side story with H.P. Lovecraft, but primarily is because I traded with somebody on, or I purchased them, I think, on Fanatica's forum, some of his 15 millimeter Mound Builder figures, because I thought they could be useful for some of my massed infantry formations. That was really about it. And then I was like, oh, what the heck are Mound Builders? Anyways, so you see what I mean? Like, there's even army lists for the Mound Builders in here. It's just amazing. So basically what you need, or the army is broken up into, like I said, 12 stands or elements, they call it. You have a general, and then you also have a terrain type. That's your home terrain type, because eventually, if you're playing in a tournament, you roll to see who's going to be the attacker or who's the defender. And you also have an aggression rating, which modifies your die roll. So you could be, if you're a heavily aggressive nation historically, the odds of you defending in your home territory are not pretty good. You also have the option of having, there's also an official enemy list and an official ally list. And if you want to use allies, that'll cause some command and control issues for you. And you usually win the war or win the battle when you've taken 4 elements. Not necessarily, though, because some of the elements don't count. For example, a horde element, which I call massed infantry in my game, they will not count to victory conditions. So you could lose a horde, which is not good for you as an army, because obviously you just lost a combat thing, but it would not count towards that person's victory conditions, for example. That type of stuff. Whereas, for example, if you lost your general, it would cost you 2 points. That type of thing. Whatever. And there's a bunch of different terrain things. And your camp. Daughter just texted me. Thieves hit the other building and grab a bunch of F. Jesus H. Yeah, like I said, Cheryl, I haven't read the comments. I don't know what the heck you're up to, but if you disappear and I never see you for, well, if I don't see you for the rest of the whatever, I mean, it was super nice to see you. I don't know what you're up to today, so let me know. But yeah, I'm just hanging out here, and like I said, I'm just trying to also play test out this stuff. I haven't played this in so long. It's crazy, and I'll tell you how many bad things are going to happen. Well, yeah, if you want to call them that, but here we go. So I haven't played this game in ages. The rules have not been fully baked. I've never fully completed a siege attack on a town. I want to introduce my little siege towers here, which I've never used before. You get my drift? This is what I'm saying. So there's going to be a lot of interesting little oops, what the heck, it may not work or whatever. That's the way it goes. But let's start off, unless, like I said, I'm just going to go with whatever here. Oh, that's the other thing. Like I said, I play the way I play. I'm not here to, like Zoe chuckles her head off because the walls, these things here, they're actually copies of resin. So these are plaster casts I made of. I made some latex molds, and from some resin pieces that I purchased, but I just can't afford to. Like if I was back in England, I'd go and buy some more. But I was like, come on, they're butt ugly compared to the real thing. So don't worry. It's not like they're nice looking or it's a major ripoff or something. But I mean, I feel kind of bad or whatever. But I'm like I said before, what the hell do you want me to do, man? Jeepers jumping. So. Like I said, Zoe has a little laugh because the walls were designed for 6mm, and here I am playing with 15mm figures. And when she saw it the first time, she was like, "Well, why don't the guys just hop on over?" kind of thing. I was like, "Yeah, you're right, but you just don't look at it that way, man. Don't look at it that way." And the siege towers, trying to bring them up a little bit to the camera so you can see later. Hold on. Is yeah, maybe, you know what, I'm going to have to, maybe I'll just, well, at some point. But they're, I don't know what, they're an STL file for some game. I shrunk them down to this size. I used kitty litter, and I did the only thing I did was a bunch of brown washes and some gold paint around this thing. Look, like I said, I'm playing the way I play. What else? Yeah, and this I'll show you what some of my figures look like. I'll go from there to there. I'm going to pop on, like I said, I'm going to do an Assyrian Civil War thing. Originally, I wanted to do 15 stands aside. I thought maybe for conventions it would be kind of cool to have 6 players, and each person would have 15 stands aside. But with this table, I forgot that I had cut my mat to do some other stuff, so this is all I have, for goodness sakes. So it's going to be 12 aside, so I'll still get 3 whatevers. The first guys I'll bring up are my second batch of Assyrians, I guess you would call it that. I had a bunch of leftover figures. I wanted to start eventually doing a Assyrian Civil War kind of thing, and so that's where it's at. I'm kind of glad in a weirdo way that I'm doing 12 stands instead of 15 right now, because there's a couple of stands, I'll show them to you, light chariots. I'm not really happy with them because I just didn't think at the time I was going to do what I'm doing with them now. They were just extra figures I wanted to paint, but now I'm like, no, I'd like to make you into heavy chariots, but that would require two extra horses to be represented on the table. So I'll show them to you, but now I'm like, I don't need to use them because I have more than 12 stands for this army in particular, so I'm not going to use them. So, and this will be the first time I've ever done an army with, oh darn it, here, actually, let's see if this works. I don't think it will, but I'll try. Well, maybe it does, a little bit. So these are the guys I'm not going to be using. Oops, sorry. Yeah, I would have done, like, they're just leftover figurines. They're all over the place. Some, I think they're all Essex, maybe. Nope. Some maybe. But anyways, that's a typical way that I would. I don't know if that's too bright or whatever. But this is a typical way I would do something. So it's a base that I got purchased through Custom Game Bits, Steve Larkin's company, and then like I said, I just do all Art Deco paint. This is like a high gloss finish. I'm using bits of tuff that I cut, here, there, and everywhere. Bits of cat litter, sprinkle some more fluffy whatever stuff. Use this, and I'll show it to you over here. I really like this stuff. And paint the sides a certain color to match the felt. In this case, it's some kind of lime green. And that's it. That's the way I do things. It works for me. And like I said, now it's going to be like Velcro, which is freaking awesome. Excuse me. It's this stuff here. I really like it. The hell are you? It's this Art Gesso paste or something. I don't know where you are. Oh, they may have. No, I want to put you. No, there you are. They have different coarsenesses or whatever's. This one's the coarse pumice modeling paste. I don't know if you can see that. Here. There, it's that stuff there. But I use the coarse pumice, and I quite like it. Anyways, I use that, and I'll put that on as my base, and then I'll glob some stuff. I'll show you the other basing, whatever's I do. It's just been a experimenting over time kind of thing. So, like I said, 12 bases aside, and I haven't done these rules in a flippin' dog's age. Going to be like a lot of starts and stops, but maybe next year, I mean, even like maybe I'll get some good feedback from anybody watching and goes, yeah, that seems like a half decent game. I wouldn't mind playing that, or it sucks to hind hell, or whatever. Or why don't you just buy a purchased one and you don't have to worry about all kinds of issues or whatever. Like I said, it was just because I've been doing things by myself, and then it was like, hey, wait a minute, maybe I can bring this to a convention, because I know they can. I've heard them complain often. Bases, to say I'm mostly inconsistent with bases is an understatement. If figures comes with a base, I'll use it. Otherwise, washers. Yeah, but yeah, and there's the other thing, man, Charles, man. It sucks. It's too late now, because I've painted so many freaking figures I should say I've based so many figures. If I had known that I was going to end up doing my own rule system or whatever, I would not have followed the basing system that DBA does. I would have just maybe stuck with one army, like to have a couple of official armies to take with me to can games. But reason being is they have it, well, you'll see, I'll show you. So, different element, I'll get you, so there's like 40 by 20 or 40 by 15. So 40 millimeters wide by 15 or 20 millimeters deep is usually what you would see like a foot soldier, archers, that type of stuff. Then cavalry would be 40 meters wide by 30 meters deep. Then you would get into things such as your hordes and chariots, which would be 40 by 40. And then you could go, there's a bit of variation. Like I said, it's 99.9% of the time it's base width that you're so worried about. But if I had known I was going to do something by myself or use my own rule system, I would have just stuck with squares, I think, and maybe done 40 by 40 or something like that, and that would have been that. It just would have made life a lot easier. And getting yet again away from the micromanagement of measurement drives me up the tree. So what I do here when I'm playing, like when I've played with Rob or Stefan or whatever, I'll say, within half a base width, or talk it out if we're going to get into whatever, like what was your intention? And we'll see what was my intention of doing something. And if it doesn't make sense, whatever, but the thing is, that's all fine and good when you're playing amongst friends, but at a convention, as you know, things need to be a bit, otherwise you're going to get some arguments, or people just said, hey, I paid, X amount of money and devoted X amount of time, and I'm not enjoying myself, and it's like, oof.
I mean, you are providing a service. That's the thing I have to remind myself if I'm hosting a game or running a game at a convention, for crying out loud. That's why I have to remind. That's what I'm thinking. It's like, it's not you, dude. It's you. You are providing a service for this person, or the people that are there. That's the thing. So that's that. I'll show you my first army there, Charles, that I did for a matched pair. I'll show you the one I bought, which was a book for Serbian. Serbian. Yep, Serbian Empire. Book 422. And I got this one off of eBay. Very medieval looking, and you're going to see that, I'll show you some, not all of them, because I didn't do the camera angle right, but you can see, so this, I didn't paint any of these guys. So this is, so this would be, is that the general? It could be the general. But, so that'd be like, knights. It's a different whatever. And I'll go through the whatevers. Like 2mm on square rectangle, just depends on how many strips of similar. Yeah. It just makes life a lot easier, man. But yet again, like I said, this was, DBA was a tournament thing, and I just didn't know I was going to end up doing what I did. Anyway, so that was my very first DBA army I had, so it's the cheapest one I could find on eBay and bring to Can Games. And that's how that started. Then I was like, well, I'd like to have a matched set for that. And so I ended up purchasing the book for 69 Albanians. And this is probably the first time I actually had comments with Tony Aguilar actually on Fanaticus thing, because I was making I was scratching my head about I purchased the army on certain look, DBA is really popular, and you can go to miniatures websites such as Magister Militum or Essex, or I'm not sure, but maybe even Lancashire Games, I'll check. But you can go there and say, hey, I want to grab a DBA book 4 army for, the Albanians, which I did. I went to Essex and did that exactly that. And they'll say on the Essex thing, well, this is what you get, and off you go. And when I got them, it wasn't actually what the DBA 3.0 at that time. There was some irregularities. And Tony Aguilar after read that comment and said, oh yeah, I remember him saying, well, I always tell people around me, friends don't let friends buy DBA Essex Army lists, because they, in other words, choose your own, look at the army list in the book, see what you need to get to make an official army, and go and pick appropriate figures for it yourself. Often I think, well, what I did, I thought, oh, it'd be a bit cheaper, or, they give you just the specific number of figures so you don't have to, have extras the way I would always end up having them. And that was that. So, such is life, but I'm pretty darn happy with, this was the first time I started painting 15mm. Remember, going from 1 to 72, and I was like, what the hell? It took a while for my eyes to adjust, and that was before presbyopia kicked in. And now, of course, presbyopia has kicked in, and I've got to deal with, I got to start wearing these things. Before I wasn't wearing them. I was doing multiple colors like a crazy maniac. But, so this is my Albania. Oh my God, I must have knocked over the thing. They're all over the flipping place. Oh, shit. Thank God I used high gloss. Oh my God. But they're not a very good, I would say, the Albanian book 4 Albanian army is not an army you would probably bring to a convention or a tournament and expect to win the tournament. It's a hard army to, just because of the troop types. It's just the way it is. You don't have a lot of punch. You can melt quickly, but some people like the challenges. At the time, I picked that one because, yet again, it was probably the most inexpensive matched army I could get for my Serbian ones that I picked on eBay. But after that time, the following Can Games, I think, or something like that. There's a guy called I hope he's still there. It's been, remember, it's been 3 years. Oh, I'll show you a few. I'll show you my general, my two generals, because there's an option for this army. You can there's a lot of times you have options for your army. Like you can say, do you want some spears or this? And it's yet again, it can sometimes be the option is you must take 2 spear or 2 archers. And other ones it could be, well, you can take 1 of each or whatever. I mean, it all depends. It's amazing. There's a ton of research that has gone into the army lists. And it'll even, like, it's amazing. Yet again, it'll be like early Hungarian, middle Hungarian, or whatever. I'm just saying. And you can see the changes. And I'm like, wow, this is impressive. So here's my, hopefully you can see it. I don't know if you can, but so that's my Albanian general as a cavalry unit. And like I said, that's just all Art Deco paint. No wash, no airbrush, no nothing. I just do my thing, man. And then I'll show you his light horse general counterpart. If I wanted to use that guy, he's a bit more mobile. Really difficult to kill, and but just not a lot of punch. But yeah, nothing amazing. But anyways, I eventually started getting. I was happy to go. Anyways, there was a vendor there at Can Games. He's, like I said, hopefully he's there again because he has a ton of miniatures. Holy F, it's ridiculous. Anyways, I wanted to get into Ancients bad. And so I went rifling through his stuff, and I found this army. I'll show it to you in a minute. Book 1, early Hebrew, I think, or late Hebrew, 122, I do believe. And grabbed them, didn't give an F. I think they were listed for DBA 2.2, so they didn't make sense for 3.0. There was some slight changes. Tough. I painted them anyways and was happier than hell to finally have an ancient army, biblical army painted. But Charles, man, when I finally got to do my wish, which was to have a complete official tournament ready Assyrian army. I picked 140 or 152 late Sargonid Assyrian army. When I sat back down and got to look at that thing, I picked I did not pick some army group. I was like, no, I'm gonna take my sweet ass time and pick every freaking figure. When I have them, I'll show them to you. Not my favorite paint job, not by a long shot. I was so proud and so happy to actually have an Assyrian army sitting in front of my flipping face, man. I was like, it's done. This is so cool. Amazing. Now, and then after that, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to grab, probably never a 2.6mm, just too small. 10 millimeter, Charles. And this is the thing, man. I'm going to show you some of my 10 millimeter medievals. I'll bring them down for you. It drives me up the tree because the two big heavyweights for me for miniatures, my favorites for 2 different reasons. Magister Militum is my absolute all-time favorite. I've met them too. I met them, Charles, in England at the Southeast London Wargamers group. Oh, God, I wish I could bring you there, man. Or we could appear there. It is awesome. It's not a big event at all. It's actually at the, it's part of the Crystal Palace football stadium training facility thing there. It's right in the swimming pool area. Anyway, it's not very big. Got to meet them, super nice people. They have amazing sculpts. Really, really good sculpts. But my favorite for customer service and just general all-around kaboom and cost, actually, is Lancashire Games. Super nice guy. Oh my God, Alan, just a super nice guy. I would love to meet him. I'll show you the figures, the 10 millimeters of the medieval. He painted them for me. It's the very first time and the only time I've ever had anyone paint figures for me. I just got to the point, I was like, I've got too many things on the go. This is before I got into Hex Encounter. And just about to. Yep, exactly, Charles, man. You just stick to, just nuts. I will say this, though. The 10 millimeter range for biblicals seems to be a lot better for pose variation. And you're not, it seems to me, and I was like, darn it. And I think you can still get that. It's almost like you're getting into that, what do you call it? You're almost getting into that masked effect. You know, like you can get that really big look, but you still got a bit of a personal feel. I got to show you my little 6 millimeter dudes later. Charles from Perfect 6. They're so well sculpted, it's crazy. They do fantasy. It was like, yeah, I can't remember the. I've got some. Well, I'll try to bring them up. Whatever, but I will grab the medievals first right now, so I can show you. And their paint job, because I didn't do them. That cost a pretty penny, especially getting them shipped from England. But such is life. Hold on. Not the only first and only time. I've done it twice. I got Lancashire Games to do, got some figures I bought from GHQ in the, I know, man. Oh, Christ, Charles, man, there's a guy as well. Oh, Cross Swords, I hope I did mention his name. There's another super duper nice vendor there, man. Oh, I ripped him off. Well, I didn't rip him off. I inadvertently ripped him off, and he let me get away with it. I didn't read the card right. Anyways, the price for the buildings was, I don't know, $20-something or whatever. But they were for 15 millimeter scale. And I saw the bag, and I only saw the 15 millimeter, and I thought, $15? And he looked at me kind of funny, went, yeah, okay. And then afterwards I went, oh, now I understand why he was saying that. I have painted Charles twice, or got somebody to paint twice. Both times, though, from Lancashire Games. These are my Robin Hood ones. They're 25 millimeters, so very close to your 28s. They did a great job. Oh, and they were super duper nice to say, oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to do this to see if this works. Maybe a better idea. I'll take them out and then bring the camera around. Hold on. And it was nice because they'd say, do you want high gloss, low gloss, whatever. And I think I asked, not these guys. Oh, yeah, it's the medieval dudes later. These are Peter Hinchcliffe figures, I do believe. I got a bunch of them. I'm really happy. Maybe they would be good with your Fistful of Lead rule system. I have no idea. I have to grab something to eat. Like I said before, I often forget to eat, and then later I'm like, why is the world looking funny? It's like, well, what do you expect? All right. Yeah, I'll bring the camera. That makes a lot more sense. Okay. What if I'll ever even get to playing the biblical thing? It'll be like my mini game there. You never actually finish it. Lord have mercy. Oh, one more thing to go. Yeah, they did a really nice job. I'm gonna grab my reading glasses. Guess a video of them is required. Yes. Got some buildings. Yes, please. Hold on. Hopefully, I don't make you go crazy. All right, so let's see what you can see. I've Probably don't have the light the right way, do I? Should I have gone the wrong other way? Let's see. Hold on. Let's see if that's better. Hold on. Ouch. It's getting caught on everything here, man. That better? I think so, eh? Alright, hold on. I just gotta make sure I don't knock over buildings. Okay, I'm not gonna show every single one of them, but so these guys are or hold on, I'm showing the wrong camera, that's why, you tit. Hold on, I've got it on the you gotta see, I've got like, you don't need to see the, yeah, I want you to go the other way. Hold on, I'm gonna grab my mouse so you can. I was like, why are you not seeing the figure so well? It's like, hello. Aha! That's much better. Now let's see if I can even go the other way so I don't have to. So, how's that? I hope. Yeah, I'll go the other way. Hold on. I think the light on the back from the back is better, isn't it? So I got cords all over the place, and I got to make sure I don't whack it too much, and the cord goes boink. And you guys don't see anything anymore. There we go. So I didn't, like I said, I didn't paint any of these dudes, and they're all 1 to 25th. 25 millimeter. But pretty darn good. I'm really happy. Look at this nice table. And then there's a target thing. Fire tuck. Yeah, so there's my siege towers. Maybe I should do it this way. I'll keep the camera down so you don't have to see me for a while, and I can show you all my figurines. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. All right, so let just pop this down. Hold on. And then I'll show you. There, you can see my close-ups of my the Civil War Assyrians while I pop the. I put the medieval dudes away, or the Robin Hood dudes away. What's that? It's a bit too much, I guess. Hold on. I'm not making you seasick again. I keep thinking of that person that I can't remember the that made the comment and was like, I like your content, but bloody hell, man. Like, I know. All right, let's just put it there for now, and you'll just have to go with me. Go with it. All right. And you'll just have to grin and bear it. Or maybe I'll do it like this. Maybe it'll. I just need it to just. As you can see, something kind of. Yeah, let me just put these dudes away, and then I can show you quickly my medieval stuff. Like I said, I like playing around with basing. I know some people don't like to base, but I enjoy it. I like playing around with the trying to, like, everybody, all my armies have different looking terrain they're on. So you can look down and go, okay, this is, you don't have to look around on the sides for the colors. Like every single one has a slight variation in their color. Of their sand, dirt, whatever, vegetation, the same, yeah, the whole 9 yards, man. That's just the way I like to do it. Have fun. It's caused me a lot of grief over time. I can remember doing some stuff of, oh my God, I'll show it to you later. These little bristles that I was using for my Kushite Egyptians to look like they were dead vegetation. And I'm using crazy glue blobs, and oh my God, I was like, you'd see them like it was standing up perfectly straight. I swear to God, I'd blink and come back down there on the ground. I'm like, you sons of bitches. Most of the bases are just paint browns. Yeah, man, I used to. You'll see if you can see here. Hold on, I'll try to be nice and mellow. But if you see what I mean, there. It just doesn't like to focus well, does it? There. So there. So it's like tufts, but you'll see all, it's like cat litter and whatnot in different colors, whatever. So here's these guys. It was so cool, Charles, man, to say to him, I'm not going to show you all because I got a bazillion. So these are my 10 millimeter medievals. And the guy said, well, how do you want us to do them? Like, how do you want to paint them? And I said, just make a blue army and a red army so I can have a generic, I can make them be whoever the hell I want them to be. And as you can see, I haven't based them yet because I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with them. But man, do they ever look cool or what? I like them. I like them a lot, man. And these ones are matte finish. I don't know if that was a smart way to go, but I did. And they've, yeah, and like I said, I just decided I'm going to do it, pick the army, or like here's some, like a priest or something. You can't see that well, but I'm supposed to go that way is the better with the light, but you get the idea. They look really nice. Okay, and I'll start showing you some of my, I'll just try to make a stable tripod thing, so that way, and then get the proper light, and then I'll bring over the armies one at a time, Charles, and then if you will like, I'd love you to pick. Well, obviously we know it's an Assyrian Civil War, so it's going to be these guys versus the other Assyrians, but both sides need to have a left and a right flank. Even though, from what I've been reading, or what I know about the Assyrians, Charles, is that they usually, for them, it was their left-hand man, not the right-hand man. So their left-hand man was your best dude. Or your second in command or whatever. I thought that was kind of cool to hear about or find out about. And also, what's going to be nice, Charles, is to show you which ones I like the best, painted-wise. And if you let me know what you think is the best painted-wise, that'll be kind of cool. Okay, let me get my camera tripod thing and see if that helps. Well, no, because I can look at the bloody screen and go, okay, this is not working out. There it is. Yeah. Like, for example, I love, who do I really like that I'm really, really happy with my Kushite Egyptians. Most of my figures for my Kushite Egyptians are from Magister Militum. Oh my God, Charles, man, I'm not kidding you. I did that with my 2mm figures. I also used different shades of color. Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm really excited to see your mini thing. Like I said, I only got a little tiny glimpse there of your... from one of your videos. I was like, what the hell's going on there? It's like multi-levels going on. I was like, oh, I like shit like that. Because it's obviously going to be like a bazillion different wrinkles to what the hell's going on with like how you can attack people. And that's going to be cool. Okay, let me see how I did this before. Like, what is this thing? Oh, yeah, it's because I wasn't using this. Let's see if I can just be... Maybe I don't need it to... Okay, hold on. I'm going to... No, it's as low as I can go, isn't it? All right. So I'm going to bring them around, and because I think it's good to have the color or the light behind me for showing you, I think. So yeah, hopefully, Charles, you can decide who are the who's gonna, and I don't give an F. My world is what I call, and I've mentioned it to Rob as well or anybody else. I call it Hollywood historical. It's not realistic. Like I said, if you enjoy moving miniatures around and that type of stuff, then you're with me. Let's see. I want to see what you can. I don't want to make it too much glare, but I want you to be able to also see what the hell. So that's. Or do I want to still put you this way? Maybe that's the way to do it, or is it sideways, or is it too much light? Should I just get rid of the light? Hold on, let's see. I'm going to try to get rid of the light and see what happens. Maybe is that better? And you can, you know what I mean? I don't need it. Let's see. Ah, I think so. Eh, Charles? What do you think? Or maybe I'll just mellow out with the light. Maybe it doesn't need to be so flippin' bright. That's the kicker. Okay, I just need to go this way so I can actually here. I'll try to. So maybe I don't need to. I wish I could figure out like something a bit lower, but not that low. Okay, hold on here, man. I'll put you back. Okay, yeah, I think that's it. I'll just put it. Maybe it was a bit too bright. Okay, there. I'll put you there for a second, and then, well, I just won't have it as bright. Maybe that's good. All right, and then, ooh, it's like mood lighting. Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah, I just need something a little bit, like I can prop it up a little bit. But not too much. Here, I'll use my, let's see if this works. Instead of the tripod thing. Come on, you little brat. Yeah, I'd love you to help me out, decide which armies to use. Alright, let's see. Yeah. That's not too bad. What do you think, Charles? And then I'll get them off the tray so you can actually see them. So this is going to be the, I'll tell you what they are. So, or how I do my little universe. So this is going to be the upstarts. These are not the real, McCoys, I guess you would call him. He's a brother. Oh, what's it called? Ish. You know, I'll have to look him up. Starts with an S. This book I picked up. You can't see it, but this is a book that I picked up at the British Museum. It is just it's monstrous, and it is just fantastic. Anyways, I'm really focused on trying to do getting all the enemies and whatnot and allies and whatever's for the period of Ashurbanipal, which is like basically the 7th century BC, I guess it would be, like, you know, the 600s. Lot of stuff going on there, and that was basically the largest. It seems like the largest point at which the Assyrian, it was one of those things where it ballooned and then collapsed really quick. I mean, it had been around for ages, up and you know, back and forth, but that was it kind of thing. After that, kind of like Babylon got its last laugh, or whatever, and then that got eclipsed by the Medes and so on and so forth, and then Cyrus the Great and all that stuff coming up, whatever. What's his name? Oh, it doesn't matter. I don't want to get into it. I want to get into showing you the armies and stuff. So this will be the upstarts. 12 figurines. So here's your. That's going to be the heavy chariot general. Oops. And then we're going to have what I call veteran units. So these we're going to have 4 of those guys. Really good. And these guys, slight differentiation. These are more like provincial troops, if you want to call it that. From whatever's, these are going to just be your regulars. Well, but they're almost as good as veterans. And so these are going to be slow, ponderous. This part of the wing, or this arm, this part is going to be a slow. There we go. I think that's better. These guys are going to be slow, but hard to get rid of. And these will be the heavy archers. Yet again, slow, fantastic when you line them up together because they can start combining their attacks, that type of stuff. And like I said, Charles, man, I haven't played this in so flippin' long that it's going to take me a long time to figure out what in the world's going on. And you know what? It may be even get to the point, Charles, where like I don't know what you're doing for the rest of the week and so on and so forth. It may just get to the point where we just set it up, and then I'll have to do a live stream later on in the week or whatever. I don't give a. And come on, man, let's just have some fun. I just got to make sure, obviously, I don't interfere with people. For rest, or it's not going to happen. I'm not going to obviously be on at 9 o'clock on Wednesday my time. To screw around with Not Jay, that type of stuff. I just got to make sure I don't want to mess with other people. I'm not saying that it would be like people are like, oh my God, decisions. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying I wouldn't want to just not into that crap. So that's it. So this is going to be the one army. I'll put them off to the side, and we still have to figure out. Are they going to go against the? Are they the one defending the city or not? So I'm going to put them off to the side. And I've never played Charles an army without skirmishers. And the way I play them in my world is they're not very, very good combat effective, but they're not there for that. They're there to disrupt the other person's army, or to slow parts of the army down. That's it. You're not there to do whatever. And you'll see how I play later, and like I said, it may not make any sense. Okay, so now we're going to show you when I had them finally painted, Charles, I lost my flipping marbles. I was so happy. Because I was like, finally, it's over, it's done. You have a real, and I did all the options. I made sure that I had the official 100% all the way down the line, DBA approved. Hold on, let me get an apple or something to eat. Hopefully I don't choke to death while I chew. I'm just getting a bit hungry. Actually, maybe I should have a fruit. I've got some leftover fruit drink. My shake from lunch yesterday before I go off to work. Leave work. For my bike ride, I usually have a shake, which is just like jam-packed full of carbohydrates and protein. I didn't have it yesterday because we had this little gathering or whatever. And someone brought in coffee cake. I'd never had coffee cake before. I didn't even know if there was coffee in it. Anyways, holy smokes, Charles, man, the coffee cake was awesome. I was like, I ended up having a second slice, and that killed my thing. I actually had to go talk to the person. I was like, look, lady, well done, woman. Well, I didn't say that, obviously, especially where I work, I'd be arrested. But I said, man, talk about balance. Like, it wasn't like overkill with coffee, or I didn't taste any coffee or any of that stuff. It was, and moist, but not to the point where you need to, like, wring something out. It was just awesome. It wasn't too sweet. It was really weird. Like, she's whoever she gets whoever gets to eat her stuff on a regular basis, like, lucky bastard. Anyways, here we go with my Assyrian army, Charles. Super happy. Lost my marbles. Lost my effing marbles. That's all I gotta say. Oh, by the way, the umbrellas, or those little chariot things, are from 1 to 72 classical Indian things. They're rubber. I love them. I just think they're great. I don't care. Like, see, I can bend them. Look. So that's my, this is my official royal Assyrian dude, you could say. Like I said, all Art Deco paint. Who gives an F? I don't even know if it's a proper color palette. Whatever. So that'll be the heavy chariot dude. He's going up. He's the real McCoy. Then we're going to have another heavy chariot. So that's 2. And then we're going to have some cavalry units. Some nice, good royal cavalry. 3. And some more nice cavalry. but different. Oh God, Charles, it was so much fun to pick my own guys. I was like, this is cool. And I know other people do it differently. They have like, they vary the pose. I just do, like I said, I do my thing, man. I love it. 4. There, we're going to go for some massed infantry, and I'm going to do it. Yeah, let's do it. So, this is my version of massed infantry. You're going to see later, but it's basically, they're just a mobile wall. But they're hard to move, and they're going to kill your command and control for my game. They don't want to move. So basically, you want to just get them into a spot and leave them there. And hope that that's what they're there. They're just a mobile obstacle. That's how I use them. But like I said, yeah, you'll see. I like using them. I love them. I love painting. I love it was hard to stop. But, you know, I became so whatever. And it's like you get to this, I mean, it'll happen again. Like Zoe said, you ebb and flow, you ebb and flow. But it got to the point yet again, Charles, where, and then it was into the pandemic thing, I wanted to expand again. I wanted to get into other gaming. And I was like, I can't, I'm not unhappy with the way I paint, but it is mind-bogglingly slow. You wouldn't believe how long, okay, how long do you think it would take me to paint these guys? No worries, Charles, man. You can always watch it again. I don't know, but thanks. Sorry, I had to step away for a second. Yep. Charles, man. It took me to paint these 3 guys and base and everything. Probably, I would say, easily. And I'm talking, I painted every single day. Minimum of an hour to an hour and a half every single day. Minimum. And imagine what I did on the weekends. Probably took me a good 2 weeks. Easy. That's how slow I am. And there's no wash. There's no air drying, any of that crap. It's just straight up. Well, you can't see because this thing's focused as shit. But, yeah. Mind-bogglingly slow. So what ended up happening, I was like, okay, if I want to expand what I want to do play-wise, what the hell am I going to do? That's when I started getting into Hex and Counter. Then, I don't know what the hell happened with World War I and the whole 9 yards, and I was in shock, Charles, in shock the way it was eroding my Assyria, I don't know what you want to call it. I mean, it was, yeah, that was a shock and a half. Shock and a half. Holy moly. There's some, so these will be part of the veteran troops. And you can see it just tufted there, cat litter. That's it. And that beautiful textured stuff. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's some more guys. We'll do some more veterans. 7. And then some more different veterans. I like these guys. They look cool. 8. And the reason why I have them slightly different is because to stick with the DBA in the description, they mention conical ones and then the round ones. So I was like, okay, we're going with it. That's 8. And then some provincial troops or regulars for me. 9. And some more. 10. Oh, God, do I remember? And that's the other thing, Charles. I paint so slow, man, that I can almost, I swear to God, I'm not kidding you, I can almost remember painting every single figure that you see there. I am not kidding you. I could, if I spent enough time staring at them, I'll remember bits and pieces because I spent so much time with them. What do you want, man? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I need 2 more. Shit. Remember, I've got more figures than I have. I like skirmishers, and I'm going to have to pick some skirmishers. So we're going to take these guys. So those are skirmishers. There you go. So that's 11. I'm going to have to get rid of somebody because I don't want to. I'm going to because I want some more skirmishers. Shit. That means I have no more archers here too either. Well, I do want another, and we'll take the slingers here. It's in different dudes. Sorry that you. Maybe it'll show up later. Who knows? But yeah, you can see I even tried to get the little, the red and the white strip and whatever. I'll show you the guys, the books later if I can. But then I have these archers that I'd like to grab. Shit. Oh yeah, you want to talk about skin color? I remember you were mentioning that you had issues with, or what you do with skin color. You know what these guys are? Straight up terracotta Art Deco paint. I didn't use any, later on I've decided to go that way. But I was like, no, everybody's in the sun, man. They're all like suntan beyond belief. So that's why I've been going. Well, you'll see all the variation over time. So do I want to go with that? Yeah, let's just go with that. It's going to be a lot of oomph. Sad that you don't have any archers. No, you should have some royal archers. You're the royal dudes. Okay, so that means we'll get rid of some provincial troops. Or should I keep the provincial troops? Excuse me. No, I'll get rid of the provincial troops. But I like those, the look of them. Shit. I like them all. That's the problem. But that's the thing. I have to pick 12. And that's what happens all the time with freaking DBA when you're picking armies, man. It's like, and if you got them all, you're like, what do I pick? What do I pick? What do I pick? Okay, I'll take the Royal Archers away, and I'll go with the Provincials and the whatever. So those are my 12 against the 12. Now, Charles, we'll go. I gotta eat something again. Hold on. I still have my little fruit drink, but I gotta go grab something here. I'll pop it on to side view. Hold on. And I'll do the split screeny thing or whatever the hell. Hold on, where's my mouse? Yeah, I just need something a bit more substantial than just that fruit drink. There we go. That seems a bit... Yeah, see, now it looks a bit more cool, I think, anyways, when you start seeing all the armies starting to line up. And that was another thing I know that I don't do properly, game-wise, like Ancients-wise, is some of the stuff, like, for example, I love the idea of having reserves. And as far as I know, they didn't do that back then. It was just like everybody lined up and away you went. But you'll see later on for movement and whatnot, you're not allowed to do wheels and all this crazy ass shit. I just try to get away from all that stuff. Well, I should say crazy ass, well, that's just the way I see things. And like I said, I just want to get to a point where I'm just moving stuff around, and I don't want to get super duper ultra complex or any of that stuff. I just want to, do my thing, man. What did I want? Something a bit more substantial. My oatmeal. That's what I need. Hold on, Charles. I'll let you be back in a minute. Well, back in a minute. I'll let it do its thing. But I'll slap some oatmeal. That'll shut my stomach up. It's good for me, anyways. The way I do it, I just randomly throw some oats in the bowl here. Randomly throw a certain amount of water in the bowl and put a lid on it, and 2 minutes and 40 seconds in my microwave, and hope for the best. Whatever comes out, I'll eat. I don't know if it's been overcooked, undercooked, or whatever cooked, but I'll eat it. And that's just the way it goes. Alright. Yeah, so let me know, Charles, when you start seeing some of the dudes that some of the armies I'm going to show you, if there's any that you kind of go, hey, I'd love to see that go up against the Assyrian, the other Assyrians. So now we're going to have to pick who's going to be on each side here. All right. I'll show you some of my favorites, and they may not be my favorite painted. I'll show you one right off the bat. No, I'm going to show you my Hebrews. I've got 2 Hebrews now. I've got Hebrew Israel. I've got and Judah. And yet again, it's just make believe in the sense that anybody can say, "Hey, that's not whatever." But now I can do Hebrew Civil Wars, and there was a lot of stuff going on with those guys. They were allying themselves, and oh my God, fighting against it. It was just nuts. I'm not saying it's the same thing, but it's kind of like it reminds me just based on the way I've been reading up in World War One, finding out about stuff. Or like sometimes I'm like, God, it seems like in a weird way like the Balkans, in the sense like everybody was like doing this, that, or always trying to vie for this, that, or the other thing. It's amazing. Yeah, my Hebrew. This is why I said the late Hebrews. They were the first guys I purchased that were ancients, and I got painted. Man, was I happy. Where are you guys? There you are. Hebrew Israel. And like I mentioned, they were not DBA 3.0 approved, but oh well, tough bananas. And I've got way more than 12 now, I think. But, so this is, oh yeah, I gotta switch cameras again, sorry. Right back to that, I forgot. But well, we're gonna have to kind of, I can kind of do both. I'll figure it out. Hold on. Doot, doot, doot. Yeah. Where are you? Where's my mouse? All right, cool, Charles. I don't even know when you're not. All right, let me see what I can. If I can show something better here. All right, maybe that'll be better. So these guys are like I said, my very first painted 15 millimeter ancients that I did, and they were not DBA 3.0, but it was the guys that I could get done from that guy from the Cross Swords dude. I'm happier in hell with them. Love them to bits. And now that I have, like I said, I now have enough guys, I can do Israel and versus grandkids. Lord help me, yeah, man. I love though hearing like when you do comments about I love hearing about them, man. You can just tell as if you don't, but love them to bits. It's just nice to hear. Just about your life, man. It's just like all the stuff that goes on. Anyways. So, I'm happy with these guys. So this is one option we have, is the, how can I do this? Maybe I'll put all the armies out and I'll let you decide, Charles. How's that sound? That makes sense. But, I won't pick them out. I'll leave them in the containers and you can go, yeah, I kind of like him or that, because otherwise I'll be here for the rest of my flipping life. So these are one guys. I like them. So these are my. So we now have to pick Charles four armies. So two armies are going to go for obviously one side of the Assyrians, and the other two are going to go for the other. So hold on here. Alrighty. So that's going to be, I'll just put them all out. Hold on. I won't need the Star Wars thing again anymore. Because I'll just show them and then we'll go from there. Alright. Or, what am I doing? But I want you to do the... There we go. And then like I said, once I get all the armies out, then I'll bring out, I'll flash the camera around the other way so you can see them. And then we can decide who's going to be up against whatever. So, like for example, I know that, well, and I'll show you which armies I don't have, that I have, that I did not paint. There's a few that I didn't paint. This is the ironic thing, Charles. One of the, there was a guy offering, someone mentioned on the Fanaticus DBA forum, there was a guy selling a bazillion 15 millimeter figures, and they were really old, and they are. You can see they were painted like, in the 70s and 80s and stuff. The old chariot miniatures. I love them to bits. Doesn't matter. You know what I like too is seeing when I see it, these figures that I've purchased from people. I'm like what was going on in their mind at the time? Like when were they played and so on and so. It's just neat to think. But anyways, they were listed as the army of Urartu, and I was like, oh good, I need that as one of the enemies against and allies. I think I'll check it for sure. Enemy against the Assyrians, and when I got them. The ironic thing, huge amount of figures. The ironic thing is, Charles, that all the figures in any combination, I could never make an official Urartu army for DBA. I thought that was kind of ironic. There's two armies for Urartu, and I couldn't. I thought that was ironic. However, I ended up making a complete Elamite and Babylonian army. So go figure. The irony is, I think I paint better than they are painted. That's because it's my own paint job kind of thing, you know what I mean? Unless, of course, you're an amazing professional painter, then obviously I'm not going to say that. I'm not that delusional. But I found interesting that when I went to asked, like we got to choose our army sides, and Rob, the first time he was playing, he picked Babylonians because, which would make sense, I guess, we're playing a biblical army. They're loaded with heavy chariots, so they look cool on the board. So he was like, oh, I want that army with all the chariots. So, and I was kind of like, yeah, but they don't look as nice as these guys over here. But he was thinking, that kind of thing. So anyway, so this is, like I said, I'll bring them all out, and then I'm also eating here. So it's been 2 days since I haven't had oatmeal, man. What the F? Charles! Fingers crossed. I don't think it may happen today. So like I said, we're having a horrible freezing rain day, man. There's a potential. I'm like, well, power may go out. Meandering Mike, I think you noticed he got his bloody The World Undone 1914 Serbia game, man. He got it in the post last week because he showed it on the marathon there, the Not J marathon. I was like, so I'm like every day, I'm like, come on. And Friday we're not going to get any post. Rob's coming over on Saturday for our game day to play the U.S. Civil War. And I'm hoping to God, Charles, man, that my copies come in. I bought 6 copies of the game. 2 to keep for myself, 2 to give to Rob, so that way he can manhandle to bits, and obviously one, like I'm going to do, put it away in a vault. You know what I mean, though? It's like, holy cow, this is so cool. And then just have another 2 to, whatever, give away or whatever, because I'm like so proud and happy, whatever. But God, I hope to God it shows up today or tomorrow, because it's the only 2 days it can happen. That would suck on tit. I'd really like to give it to him. Nope. They're 2 days, so we'll see. Okay, let me pull out a couple more armies. I'll show you my Judeans. They're not the greatest yet again, but they work. Where are you, Judah? Oh, here you are. Hebrew Judah. Now I'll bring the overhead down so you can start seeing. So these guys are pretty cool. They got a lot of flipping. You can see there a bit. So yeah, I'll eventually, or could I? That makes sense now. Hold on. Maybe that'll make a bit more sense. Hold on. And how's this? Then. And then I think I can do a halvesies or something weird. Hold on. Maybe that'll work. How's that, Charles? That kind of makes sense, or somewhat makes sense? I think so. I'll try to be a bit. So those are the Hebrew Israel. So that's one we could do. All right. Sorry, that's Hebrew Judah. Yeah, those are my Judeans. So you can see you got a fair amount of heavy chariots there. Lots of yeah. Anyways, we've got some interesting folk there. I'm primarily into just like what they look like. I will show you the ones that they're not a great whatevers, but I had such a the first time I ever played with them, the what I call the Syro-Canaanites. Let's just call them Syrians. First time I played them, they went up against the Babylonians, actually. And they had to defend a hill. And just realized I missed putting material on 2 orgs. Oops. What does that mean? Let me know. What do you mean? Do you mean like the primer stuff? Or on their bases? Oh, shoot. Okay. Hopefully you can figure out a way of wiggling. It's one thing I hate, actually, when I was mentioning about basing, the only thing I don't like about basing is I still have to figure this out properly. I just have to change my technique, is getting the crap underneath the chariots. That's it for me. Really it. The hell was I talking about? No idea. No, I don't. I really don't. I'll show you my Syrians. They went up against the Babylonians and had to defend the hill. And Charles, man, on paper, there's no bloody way in living hell. They had a chance. They way punched above their weight. And held on to that. Oh, they got crushed eventually. But they held on to that hill for so long and caused major headaches. It wasn't funny. And I, after that, was like, man, you are like one of my favorite freaking armies to use. I haven't actually even had like a little narrative afterwards. I've been trying to do like a campaign system for them. Almost like a choose your own adventure type of a thing, where the first decision is you've been called up by the Assyrians, to shore up part of their army when they're going to go on campaign, and stop some of the rebellion that's going on. Or you have the option of joining the rebellion forces, but it's a chance you're taking. Could be a quick end of your choose your own adventure based on the way the battle goes, kind of thing. Anyways, and also based on the troops you decide to pick. All right, I'm almost finished here. Oh God, that helped, man. It's amazing, eh? Blood sugar and the whole 9 yards, just popping something in here. All right, I'll show you my Syrians. Like I said, they're not my favorite painted, but man, if I've got a choice to go up, I'll take these guys. It's almost like you, at least for me, I almost seem like I try to, grab their personality or their spirit. I'm like, okay, you guys are a bunch of like really, tough little screw you kind of thing. We're going to, whatever. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to play you that way. And it's like, well, if you maybe play that way with everyone else, you would be pretty darn good as well. But, well, that's the way it goes. All right, well. Oh, Charles, man. You should see the icicles coming off the freaking bird feeder. It is disgusting out there. All right. I want you to see my Syrians. Yeah, here they are. I love these guys to bits, Charles. Like I said, not my favorite painted, but I love them. There you go. Can you see that? Now, how do I get rid of that stupid thing so it's not blocking the... I'll put it on full on. Hold on. Nope. Sorry, the other one. Or it's this one, I think, is kind of cool. Is it? No, I don't want this one here. Ah, there we go. So these are my Syrians. Crazyville, I love them to bits. Yet again, like I said, you'll see that, hey, wait a minute, those are the same guys used for other guys. And it's like, well, that's the way the manufacturers did them. I like these guys. Yeah, very Hittite-ish, Syrian-ish. Yeah, they're good. I like them. Like you can see, they're completely different color bases. Slightly different way of doing things. They use different tufts. Sprinkled a different scatter, whatever the heck you want to call it. Yeah, just change things up. So these guys are good. I'd love to play with those guys. So that's one side. We can always randomize, just roll the thing. Who are you guys? You're the Elamites. So these guys I did not paint. So these are the guys from the old 70s kind of thing. And you'll see, hey, wait a minute, these are the same figures, and that's right. And Magister Militum ended up getting the, see, these are a lot of these are the old chariot miniatures from manufacturer, and Magister Militum bought the whatevers, the molds and the whole 9 yards or whatever they're called. And like I said, different color thing, different base, but it's easy for me. And so they're interesting. I love that. I don't know if you can see the chariot guy. He's got a, I decided to, I had a leftover head from a screwed up thing, or I must have chopped off a head from a screwed up thing. Anyways, so that guy's chariot thing is actually, I've got somebody's head on a pole. I just thought, why not? Let's have some fun. Obviously going to be, oh, that was it. It was also a little inside joke, because the last great Elamite king ended up getting his head chopped off, and was actually worn as a necklace by one of the priests or generals or whatever, and had to be was served at the banquet, the victory banquet, by the Assyrians. Man, yeah. Here's the Babylonians, another group that I did not paint. And like I said, that's why I was going to say Rob loves these guys, because there's a ton of heavy chariots. So he was like, oh, I want to be them. But I also did Hittite. Oh, hello! Oh, that could be my Serbia game. You poor bastard, man. Good luck. Thank you so much. Well, people, people, guess what, Charles? I think I know what just showed up. Please, God, be in good. I hope you're plasticized to bits, because if it's not, I'm in trouble. Because the box is soaked to the bone. So it looks like I only got one copy so far. Let's find out. Oh, I did get a copy of The World Undone, Serbia, but I'm not unzipping or undoing anything. I'm letting other people do that. But I'm really excited to get it. Means obviously there's another copy showing up. Or 5 more, because what the hell? Let's find out. It's so weird, man, to been playing, like I've had this game, Charles. Hold on, I'll just here. I've had this game for freaking, well, I've played it for ages, and now to actually see it in real life, it's freaky weird. So, yeah, that's just one copy, so I've got 5 more to go. Certainly hope so. Hold on. Yeah, I'm missing 5 copies, dude. What the hell? Uh-huh. Well, I'll tell you one thing, Charles. My packing slip says that I have 6 copies of Serbia. I only have 1. So you darn well they better freaking figure this out, man. What the hell? I wonder who I phone. I'm just gonna say missing 5 copies here, man. Yeah, they're not going to be. Well, I'll talk about it later. Everything will be solved in the long run. And I also did get a copy of this. I did a half-assed. I didn't do very much play testing of this. Very, very tiny. As in so tiny, it was like if it was mentioned, it'd be like, there's no point. Be like as a side note, but hey, man, I want the other 5 copies showing up. Better be a second package somewhere. Check what they build you, and then maybe send them a friendly email. Oh yeah, I will, Charles. Don't you dare worry. Don't you flip and worry. It just sucks because I was like, okay, the second shipment obviously must be showing up, but the packing slip is right there. I'm like, well, you can tell I only got 1 freaking whatever, and you can see you couldn't fit 6 in that effing package, and I still have the package. I don't have anything else. Tell me how you could have fit 6 in there. You can't. Oh, don't worry, man. And I know how to talk to Ray Weiss. I'll freak on his head. Hey, Mini Warmutt. Nice to see you, man. Thanks. Yeah, I'm just showing Charles some of my, going through some of my 15mm miniatures, and I just got my copy of, yeah, take care, man. Yeah, Charles, don't worry, man. We'll figure this out. Yeah, I think I'll be mega pissed. All right, who else do I have? Yeah, because I certainly want to make sure that Rob gets his freaking copy, man. Okay, now we're getting into what I really love to paint. These guys, if I could paint these guys, Charles, from here to till the cows come home, man. The poses, they're just a breeze to paint. I can paint, and even with my ultra glacial way of painting. These are my Kushite Egyptians. Oh my God, they're so much fun to paint. Yeah, look at these guys. Oh my God, I can just go on and flip it on. Let me see them. So these are my heavy archers. They're great. Oh yeah, this is the thing. I don't know if you can see these little sticky, dry, here. They're off to the little bits of dry grass. So those are these things I was telling you, these little stick things here. Those are like bristles from a tree or whatever, from whatever, some leftover terrain tree. And those are the ones that I stuck in with crazy glue and whatnot. Oh, Charles, man, I just love painting these guys. Just love them. I'll show you my, the black pharaoh. There. There we go. I love them. Just, oh gosh almighty. Yep. Fun, fun, fun. Anyways, they're super easy to paint. These guys are from, most of those guys you saw were from Manchester Militum. These guys are from Lancashire. Not as good of a pose or sculpt or whatever. However, the price point is mind-bogglingly different. And so I was like, well, you know what? To bolster up armies and so on and so forth, and I just have to learn different ways. I'm going with it. Yeah, fun as hell to do. I'm really happy. Here's some more Lancashire game dudes, I think. Yes, and they came out. They're nice. There's nothing wrong with those guys. It's an okay pose. So they're good to go. Like I said, there's all kind. And I'm not worried about doing. Oh, you know, those two guys never met up. Who cares? For Christ's sakes. You want a simulation or whatever? Go somewhere else. Who are these guys? My Phrygians. And I like these guys because I just looked for people that, you know, that Phrygian cap thing they always talk about. So they're not Phrygians, but in like it listed or whatever. But I was like, oh, you're coming with me. You look like you got a Phrygian cap from what I remember historically. And yet again, you can see a completely different look to the terrain. I went really rocky, real rocky look with these guys. They're all right, nothing amazing. I love his little funky light chariot color combo. How's it going for something crazy? See there? Let's have some fun. Anyways, they're not bad. Oh, I like these guys actually, the Phrygian cavalry. I tried to look up some crazy Phrygian swirl or whatever. I went a little bit. I can't really. They're not coming out very well. Those are just some hand painted shield work. Yeah. Oh, it's too bad out of the focus about, but oh well, such is life. I gotta stop thinking that everything has to be done in one shot perfectly or whatever. What else do we have? My RAR2 army. Probably one of my favorite armies. Not favorite painted, but one of my favorite armies. And again, you can see about me being Hollywood historical. I think that banner thing I put in for the heavy chariot here. Chariot drag race, yeah, man. Well, we're going to have some interesting chariots going on here. I think that's a Roman eagle or whatever. I'm like, screw it, I don't give an F. You're coming with me. But that thing there is an actual symbol from one of their religious things. But he's all right. I like him. I can't wait to show you my Hittites soon enough. But they were fun to do. I really enjoyed doing a RAR2 because it was kind of like me going, you know what, I'm going to find my way of... there was not a lot of information on this this kingdom. And, well, they were an empire. And northern, like in the Caucasus, Taurus, Zagros Mountains, all that stuff. And caused Assyria a lot of grief for a long time, man. And they were the guys with the fortress thing. So I'm going to show you that encampment again that I told you that one of my friends made a long time ago for me. And I got to watch it being made by hand over a few days. And it knocked my socks off. That was the one with the 2mm fortress. So this was made for DBA. So I could go and play, like right now, I could go to CAN games, you know, in 44 days and play. But look at that, man. That's by hand. As in all those rocks, all that stuff. It's just paper mache stuff. It's super lightweight. It's ridiculous. And anyways, they were known. Urartu were known for their fortresses in the mountains, like along mountain passes and so on and so forth, to protect their borders and everything. So I went with this idea, and she ran with it. As you can see, the little blueberry bush kind of there near the water. There's a waterfall. This is just mind-numbingly beautiful. And to think, like the variation of the limestone and the granite and all the stuff that she did with the rocks and everything and the weathering, it's just spectacular. Now, Charles, you should see what she did with a 28mm fantasy castle lighthouse thing on the shoreline. Holy shit. Huge. To scale. Monstrous. Beautiful. Oh my god. Incredible. I'll show you some of my other encampment bits later. But that thing, yeah, I think you'd lose your marbles if you saw the 28mm thing. It was like, woo! Nice. Here are my Hittites. And all the chariots, you're going to see the chariot boxes are handmade. They're cardboard. The only thing that is real is the wheels. The actual chariots were handmade. I just made them out of, like I said, cardboard. But I think they came out pretty darn good. And like the wood there, I think that's a toothpick. Yeah, it is. The yoke or whatever the hell the thing is. That's just a toothpick I painted. That's, welcome to my life. But if you like chariots, Charles, you probably would want to pick Hittites as being one of the dudes. Because they are just chock full of chariots here. I've got a lot of them. And some interesting folk. A lot of Lancashire games guys here. Lots. So there's lots of regular troops. And you can see that Hittite, those long hair look to them. I also cheated yet again. I don't care. here are some actual. These guys are actually Egyptian archers, and I was like, no, you're. I'm going to paint you up a little bit to make you look like something else, and you're going to be my heavy, my Hittite heavy archers. Well, this is the way it goes. So that would be an interesting thing to maybe, use them. What else? I just want to make sure I don't knock things over. Yeah, man. I like the Hittites are always good, especially if you're into chariots, man. Now, who are you? Okay, these are Zagros, Zagros Highlander, Zagros Mountains, and Zagros and Highland Mountain Kingdoms. So basically the same area, roughly, as Urartu. Yeah, okay, same here, man. Let's go with the Hittites. I'm with you. So these guys would be allies and also enemies at times with the Urartu. So they are, nice guys. I like them, but yet again, they were. I like these guys actually. These nice little, what I would call in my world in DBA, they're called fast auxilia. In my world, they're warband. It's just a generic term, and I'm going with it. So that's another group. Hold on here. Well, you know what, Charles? What we could try to do is maybe max out the chariots beyond belief. I don't mind doing that. It'll be weird to see, but tough. Let's just have some fun. I don't care if this whole thing breaks. I just want to have some flipping fun, man. And even if I get only one bazillionth of a little bit of some wrinkles out of my game system, then fine, so be it. Oh my God, I'm going to probably show my favorite to last. Yep, my Philistine army, which, Charles, if I wanted to go to DBA and have a great chance at winning, I would be taking my Philistine army, with probably Phoenician allies, and I've got them both, and I could wreak havoc. It's if you want to be gamey. There's ways of, obviously, you pick the best armies that have the best chance of winning, and the Philistine army with a spear general, which I did one year. I ended up in second place, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I think I could have probably maybe have taken first place, but we were running out of time, and so I started rushing just to kind of end the game. And you know what sucks? I was going up against, well, I consider him my arch. He is an amazing gamer, Charles, man. He also runs games. Duncan Martellock, I think. Anyways, these are my Phoenicians. I like them. So very Greek influenced. You can see here the Greek mercenary spear general. I like them. And these are Roman troops, actual Roman whatevers, but I've morphed them into, I don't care. And now they're mercenary, Greek mercenary-ish Phoenician dudes. The way I view my Phoenicians is they're more mercantile, whatever, and they probably just got a lot of money and let's go and buy some troops and get them to do our work. That's the way I look at it. So that's how I do this. For example, these guys, I pretend when I do the Phoenicians, that these are the actual true Phoenicians, like the noble cavalry, and they are there present, but most of the heavy lifting is done by the people they've hired. My human 28's number supposedly 84 combat effect 9 in process for your... My human 28's number supposedly... Yeah, I've got to find out about all these with 9 in process and 12 unstarted. Yeah, I don't know anything about these numbers or what. I know that Mike bought that game system as well. I'm going to have to, and everybody and their dog seems to be playing it, so I'm going to have to learn it or get it or whatever. So I know what the hell you guys are talking about, because I don't know what you mean by supposedly 84 combat effectives with 9 in process. Yeah, I don't know. So that's another, we got these guys. And then my final ones are my Philistines, which are my very favorite painted. And like I said, if you want to kick some ass, it's weird too, because like I said, with the way they have the tournament system set up, Charles, or DBA, you know, if you went into the tournament right now, and it's a DBA Open, not a themed tournament, I could play up against, okay, for example, the DBA tournament that's coming up at Can Games, it's called a Swiss cheese tournament or something, or whatever format. So what they'll do is the first round they try to match you up with a historical opponent. So the very first time I ever played with those Serbians that you saw, they matched me up actually with an earlier Serbian army or whatever. It was kind of neat. 9 are old metal figures but no weapon. Okay, now I'm getting right. Now I understand what you mean. So these are my Philistines, and I personally think they're my favorite, best painted, but you may not think so, or other people, I don't, whatever. So they're my, a lot of light chariots and a lot of spear, man. And that's the kicker. So here's my spear general. You have the option of being a heavy chariot general or a spear general. And I went this way with these guys. Ooh. And I don't think you're probably like most people, not really a big cavalry painting person. Or mind you, you say you're not really into painting humans much. So or you can go with this guy, like a light chariot general, if you decide you want the mobility more than the muscle. All right, Charles. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to pick a chariot heavy people. We'll go there. Hold on, and then you can decide which side they are going to go on. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of. We'll pick. Well, obviously the Babylonians are going to have to be on one side, and the Hittites will have to be on one as well. So we'll go with those two. So that's a lot of chariots. But I just got to put some aside, because otherwise I'm not going to know what the hell this is going to get too wacky weird. So what have you got planned for the rest of the day, Charles? What's going on with you? Okay, so we got the Babylonians here. And I'll pick 12 out. Here, I'll just move I'll get to the double camera thing again. Hold on. How's that? Yeah. So I'll try it so you can see something or whatever. So okay, we got that guy. So here I got to pick out 12. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 heavy chariots right off the bat for the Babylonians. 5, 6, 7. I'll give them a lot of heavy archers. 7, 8, and some skirmishers. Always good to have. 9, 10, and more heavy archers. That's it. They'll be the ouch unit. Because in my world, if you can cut weeds into the green, continue for sure. Yeah, man. Holy smokes, man. Part of your back part of your yard. Wait until I show you some pictures later on of my yard, because I'm so anti. I just don't get into it. My yard turns into a jungle. Actually, the person that used to probably need to go to store. Yeah, and yeah, let's take a break, Charles. You pick out a time because I'll go and do some other stuff for a while, and I don't mind doing another live stream. No problemo. So if you can say, hey, because remember, it's not this is just this is just hanging out, and the reason why we can't hang out is because we live thousands of miles away. So if you say, hey, there's a possibility I'll be on from, let's say, I don't know what time your time is for whatever, I'll just turn on at that time. Let's say you go, hey, Chris, I'll be on at, I'll be hanging out in my game den at 3 in the afternoon, my time, or whatever, like your time, I mean. Then let me know, or whatever, and I'll just turn on. I don't care. I'm just having a blast, man. I love doing this, so... You have no idea how much fun it is to have, met you and still be. Yeah, it's just. Oh, I'm in heaven, man. Okay, so we got that. We got those 12. Now your Hittites. Oh, I'm so glad you like the Hittites, man. And I love making them. It's so cool to be able to make these things. I mean, it's, yeah, I've even got my little template, my little cardboard template. Oh, God almighty. The problem is I haven't done it so long, Charles, that I may, I'm starting to clue in. I'm starting to forget how to do things. Yeah, we'll take a break once I pick the armies out. How's that? And then we'll go from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Boy, I haven't varied out. My iPhone's almost close at hand. So I find your live stream so fast. Oh, cool. Wondering if... okay, Charles, I'll let you decide. What do you think? Because we're starting to get to the point of... oh, you're gone again. Or now you're back on again. Or maybe you're not him. I don't want to get too... it just seems like I'm just picking too much of the same troop type. So I'm going to try to mix it up a little bit here. I'm not going to give the Hittites any ranged weapons, and I'm going to replace them with some warband. That's what I'll do. Yeah, I think that's, yeah, we'll switch it up a little bit here. Because otherwise it's going to be everybody's always the same, and it gets a bit boring. I really dislike playing, for example, like a lot of the classical Greek armies. It's like 12, 12 stands of freaking spear or whatever, or 12 or 10 stands of spear and 2. It's just I want a little bit of variation. I mean, sometimes a bit too much is not good, but. Okay, so we've got, I'll put these guys away now. Yep, all right. You know what, Charles, how about something crazy, oh, not crazy, but, okay, so we've got Babylonians, Hittites, 2 Assyrians, so we need two more sides. How about, I'm not going to pick the Elamites. There's not enough. Yeah, I want to stick with more of my painted dudes who already have the Babylonians up. So now, I want to try something a bit funky. So what do you think, Charles? If you're the person there. Hold on, who do we got left? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could roll a die 8. And we'll go that way. How's that? Alright, let me go get a die 8. I think I have someone around. Or you can pick, Charles. I'll go through the thing again. So it's, Couché Jip. Okay, I'll roll a die 8 then. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, let's do this. 7. So, Phoenicians are coming to town. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, let's just go with that. And I have no idea what I picked. I just randomly picked. So now we've got those guys. This is weird. Phoenicians and who knows? Maybe it'll end up like north. No, it can't be north versus south, but it could end up east versus west. Because so far we would need mostly Most of my enemies are Western based. I haven't done my Medes yet, or any of those guys. Oh my God! Wait till I show you later. Maybe on the second live stream thingamajig there, Charles. Oh, my unpainted miniatures. It's horrifying. All right, so let's do another die 8. A 1. Excellent. The Kushite Egyptians, my friend. Oh man, I'm really happy actually because they're really nice looking. Okay, so that's 1. I got my glasses. Hey, puss. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and go for this guy. Why not? 12. Alright, so I've only got 1 left to do, Charles, and I might as well do a die 6 now since I only have 6 left. Hold on. Alright. Hey, puss, what are you up to? Hey? You silly goose. Alrighty. Die 6. Here we go. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Who are you going to be? Well, there's a good chance it's going to be one of the Hebrew armies. I can tell you that much. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. The Phrygians. Holy F! What a weird. I've never. This is certainly not a combo I've ever seen before that I've played. That'll be interesting. This will be very interesting, I think. Almost a north versus south, in the sense that the only I would say anomaly, I guess, would be the Babylonians. If you think about it. Hold on. I'll put them away. I want to see what the Phrygians look like, and then what time do you want to run into again, there, Charles? Any idea? Let me know. If you can, pop it in one of my comments in my on my things. I haven't checked the comments yet this morning or done any of that stuff. What time have we got? 11 o'clock. Yeah. I'll once I pop these guys on, well, maybe we'll shut down or whatever and go from there. Like I said, I'll pop on another live stream. I can go and eat. You'll be doing your stuff and. We'll go from there, or I'll just slap on. I'll just start live. I think I've done that once by mistake when I was trying to test out StreamYard, and people were like, "Hey, what's going on? You've got a live stream going on." That was kind of freaky weird. I was like, "Whoa!" All right, so hold on. These were a pain, though, Charles. Actually, when I said about painting and whatnot, I did have a hard time painting some of the Phrygians. 1, 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, really, I'm really going interesting with these guys. 7, 8. Why not? Let's have some fun. 9, 10. Let's see what happens with some crazy folk. Actually, but I do want to have these particular figures on. I bought these actually from Tony Aguilar. They're Falcon figures, and I wish I could get them again because I love the look of the. They're Assyrian provincial figures, but I love the sculpts. So I'll grab just one, and then another warband, I guess, or some light archers. How's that? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so that's 12. We got them all set up. And then, tell you what, Charles, now we'll decide who's the who's on which side, and then we'll call it a day for. As in, I'll stop the live stream, and when I get back on, I'll just stay on. And when you pop on, and if you don't, you don't, because you got other stuff to do. But I'll try to keep it so you've got some, obviously some time off between the real live stream, which is the Not J one there at 9 o'clock. All right, so we know we've got the Assyrians, these guys on one side. Okay. And then, where's the other Assyrians? Okay. Sure, on one side. We got these guys. Now, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on here. 1, 2. Yep, 3, 4. Okay. Did I do this right? Do I have too many people on here? No, I've got the Hittites. I've got the Babylonians. I've got the Cushites. Yeah, someone's... I got too many people. Or do I? 1, 2, 3. I've got 4, 1 too many people, so I'll have to get rid of the Phrygians, I think, isn't it? So it'd be the Assyrians. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so no Phrygians. Okay, I went too many times here. All right, so I was like, what the hell's going on here? This isn't making any sense. Why do I have 5? Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, roll a die 4, Charles, and we'll go that way. Okay, Charles, I'll turn off now. You go away, or I'll do this. We'll do die 4 super quick. I hate die 4. We'll do die 8, and then 1 to 2, 3 to 4. These guys are going here. Babylonians are going with these guys. These guys are going with that guys, and the Hittites are going with those guys. You get it? All right, so I'll set up later, Charles. I'll see you later. Hope you have a good time. Everything goes well. Good luck at the store, and so on and so forth. And yeah, I'll like I said. So it'll be. I'll set up, and I'll see you in a bit. Like I'm gonna go off and eat and do Lord knows what. Maybe take a rest. And there's no way I'm going outside, not with that horrible nonsense. And also find out what's going on with my 5 missing copies. So it'll be... The only thing we'll need to find out now is it going to be the... roll. So it's going to be the upstarts will be 1 to 3 attacking. Or 4 to 6 it'll be the... or they're defending. They are defending. You can see that, but it's a 5. So, yep, those dudes will... Oh, here. Where are you? There you go. So it's a 5. So that means I guess the real guys are coming in to squash them like a bug or saying enough's enough. So that'll be the Assyrians with the Cushite Egyptians and the Babylonians versus the upstarts, Hittites, and the Phoenicians. All right, Charles, I'll turn off for a while, and like I said, I'll just pop back on. I'll just leave it on, and we'll go from there. Okay, see you later, man. Hope you have a good one. Bye, Charles.